I wish you a very blessed and holy day. It's the Lord's Day, and I'm grateful that all of you are here to worship God. On this Good Shepherd Sunday, I want to take the opportunity to do what I think hopefully a good shepherd would do. Let you all know where we are as our parish. I want to give you all an update. There's no perfect time to do this, so I had to pick this Sunday. But I want to give you an update on where we are with our building campaign. It's been a while since I've given a big update, so just bear with me. Just as a reminder, the decision was made a few years ago to move forward. We built the church, but then the decision was made to go ahead and move forward with the second phase, to build our parish hall, our school, education facility, etc. A steering committee began to meet starting the fall of 2015 to study that. And a study was done to see if our parish was indeed ready to move forward with the second phase and to initiate a capital campaign. And that study, many of you were part of it, was very positive. And because of that positive result of the study, we moved forward last August with a capital campaign. And I'll give a full report on that in just a couple of minutes. Considering the magnitude of the second phase, parish hall, school, offices, that's a big project. The thought was, why don't we phase that out and build a simple event center, which we could get into immediately. It was going to be a very simple building. We were calling it phase 1.5, a simple building that we could start meeting in right away. The building committee, after a lot of thought and a lot of debate and research, determined that building the event center in two phases like that actually becomes very complicated and very expensive. You build a building, then you have to tear down one of the walls to build it out, to make it the full event center. It's very cost ineffective. And we also, that first phase wasn't going to have a big commercial kitchen. There wasn't room for it. We decided if we're going to build, we need the full kitchen, we need the space, and it's not the best use of our funds to build and tear down and build again. So we decided to go for all of it in phase two at once. It's just a better use of our money and our resources. That event center, that design for it has all been drawn up. You can see it. It's in the back of the church by the little glass panels back there. The drawing has been made. The engineering has been done. But a lot still needs to be designed. For example, the kitchen isn't fully designed. Some of you signed up to be on the kitchen committee. When we get closer to building, we're going to call you together so we know what the kitchen's going to look like. But the building itself is engineered and is ready. Ultimately, with the building of the event center, we don't have the money in the bank yet to be able to build that, because we don't want to go into debt to build the parish hall. So we have to wait until the funds come in from our pledges to be able to build that. So we're still waiting for pledges to come in. And I want to thank all of you who have been making your pledges and been giving to the campaign. Maybe some of us have like, oh, I've forgotten to, oh yeah, I haven't started making my pledge yet. This is my call to you in all love to start making your pledge payments, because we want to be able to move forward as quickly as possible with the building of the event center. Many people made donations and pledges, and they were specifically made through the Idaho Education Tax Credit. And if you want more information on that, you can call our development director at our office, and she can help you out with that. But all funds that were donated that way are funds that are directed towards an education facility, which means those funds are marked for the school. So donations that were given towards the school to be used towards the school. And so we have to honor where people have given their funds. So monies have come in, but not all of it can be used to build just anything. And so that's where we are right now, as we're hoping to move forward with the event center as soon as we have the funds available to do that. Just want to give you an update on our campaign. But before I do that, I have Mary Catherine Nyland found this amazing St. Paul's Parish Bulletin from August 1955. I made copies of it and put it on the back table by the drawings back there. I'd love, anybody who's interested should go take a look at it. It's fascinating what was happening at St. Paul's in 1955. It lists all the sisters who are going to teach this coming year. It's just really, really great. So if you want to see that, there's copies of it back there. Just a reminder that we come from a parish that has a great tradition. We've been here a long time, and we want to be here a lot longer as well. So with our capital campaign, and just want to, again, keep you up to date, we landed on the Steyer Group as our consulting firm to lead us through the capital campaign, and they did a planning study. And they determined that St. Paul's could raise in a capital campaign anywhere between $2.8 and $3.5 million. That was what they determined after their investigation. And the result of that is we did a campaign. People came out. Some of you know about that, but you were invited to make a pledge. And individuals in our parishes, individuals in our community pledged. The total amount of pledges is just about $2.3 million. That's what came out of that, is among all of us as parishioners, we pledged $2.3 million. Also, our Comité Latino, the leadership group of our Hispanic community, they made a community-wide pledge. They committed the Hispanic community to $650,000 over the next 3 years. That's why there's tamales after Mass. All of that is to help. They're doing community fundraising in addition to their personal pledges. So when they do the big Mother's Day fiesta and all that kind of stuff, all that money is going to build for us. I was helping make those tamales yesterday, and there's a lot of man hours that go into those things. They should actually be little bars of gold. That's really what they're worth. They're amazing. So there's tamales after Mass for sale as well, and they're piping hot fresh. They're amazing. There were some outside donations, people outside of the parish that love what we're doing. They're very interested in what we're doing, and they have donated significantly to St. Paul's. There have been $900,000 in donations from outside of the parish to us. Isn't that amazing? Almost $1 million has come from people who just want to help St. Paul's. That's incredible, and we're very grateful. That money was given primarily to the school, though. They want to see Catholic education flourish in this valley. That $900,000 is 30% of what we've raised so far, just from these outside folks. When we look at our parish in general, we are a big parish, a great parish. We have 1,850 registered families. We're guessing maybe 600 non-registered families, so around 2,400 and change families. It's a lot of us, isn't there? It's a lot of folks moving through the parish. But only about 23.5% have made a pledge. So out of the 2,400 families, only a quarter of us have made a pledge. Now there's a difference between a pledge and a donation. A pledge is when you fill out a card like our pledge card and you make a commitment like to a phone contract or your cable bill. You can count on this money for the next 3 years coming from me for building on faith. That's what a pledge is, and we can count on that. We're able to budget around that pledge. A donation is, oh yeah, I want to support that, and we have our once a month, like today, building fund collection, and we put some money in the collection basket. It's a wonderful donation, but it's not a pledge if you haven't told us it's a pledge. So a donation is a wonderful thing. Yes, make donations, but if you're planning on making a donation every month, could you just make it a pledge? That way we know we can count on that funds, and that might help us be able to move forward more quickly. Because we're not going to move forward if we're not sure we have the funds. We don't want to get caught, if you know what I mean. We don't want to get caught spending money that we don't have. So you and I we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here. Most of us in our lifetime have moved before. And everywhere we've moved, my guess is, there's always been a Catholic church waiting there for you. That someone before us has built, has worked hard to build. And this is our time to be a part of that for the future. By the way, our predecessors here at St. Paul, here are the capital campaigns and building projects that happened in Nampa. There was a major campaign in 1910 to build the church. Then there was one in 1922. And then another one in 1947, which completed the old St. Paul's facility. Then there was the movement in 2003, which resulted in the building of this amazing church. And now we are in that historic time to complete our construction. So I'm just reminding you and just letting you know where we are. You've heard a lot of this before. But my hope is to encourage a greater participation to move that 23% up a little higher. There's 1,800 families that haven't made pledges. I just imagine if, on average, those 1,800 families, this is average now, and you might not be able to do this, but if they all averaged $55 a month for the next 3 years, that would be $3.5 million. We could do a lot with that, couldn't we? We could do a lot with that. And it might require some sacrifice to be able to do that. But isn't our faith based on sacrifice? It is. And great good comes out of that. I want to just encourage you to stop by after Mass, the little campaign corner over there, and there will be one of the members of our building committee, Sherry, our development director, will be there to answer any questions about our project, about the campaign, if you have anything you want to have clarified. Today, at the end of Mass 2, we have our Building on Faith second collection, and there are envelopes in the back of the church. You can always use an envelope to make a donation. If you're making your pledge donation at this collection, we want to know that it's your pledge donation. So if you're just putting cash in the basket, we can't really track that as your pledge. If you've made an official pledge, you should have received an envelope in your normal envelope packs that you get mailed at home, and that helps us track that for you. And then you get your statement. Every quarter we send you a statement that tracks where you are. We don't send out statements every month and reminders because it's very expensive to send out that much mailing to this many people. So we send out a quarterly statement. But use these envelopes, and I just say all this to hopefully just help you and to encourage all of us to work together, to build on faith, to grow in our service, and that this campaign can move forward. Again, we're here to answer your questions. We'll be available after Mass for any clarification, or if you want to fill out a pledge card. If you just want to write a check for $1 million, we'll happily receive that. You know what? So many people have said, Father, if I could, I would. And I know there are so many generous people here, so many amazing people in this parish who are doing great things. And I thank all of you for that. And I just want to encourage all of us to all just make an effort. I think as I look around and look at our world, what do we really need to have in our future? A strong faith presence. A strong Catholic faith, Christian, charitable presence in our world as we move forward. I think that is one of the most critical needs for our world. You? And that's what we're trying to accomplish. Everything that I said is on a nice, colorful sheet back there that basically summarizes. You can take it home and look at it. It'll help you as well. There's numbers and there's dates and all kinds of information on there for you. Okay? Thanks for listening. I appreciate that. I just wanted to give you an update. I think it's important for you to know that. And I just want to say a real quick thing about Jesus. Is that okay? No, Father, sit down. It's Good Shepherd Sunday. And Jesus is our Good Shepherd. And he was telling us today in his holy word the kind of reality that we're going to face. In the time of Jesus in major cities like Jerusalem, there were these common sheepfolds, or common, I call them like sheep parking garages of their days. There were a lot of shepherds with their flocks, and when they would come into town to do business, they would drop their sheep off in one of these little pastures. And there would be a rock wall with a gate, and you let your sheep come in, you go do your business, and you would come back. You'd make a little payment, and there could be 2 or 3 or 4 flocks of sheep in there, and the shepherd would come in and he would get his own sheep, and he would call his sheep, oftentimes even by name, and the sheep are familiar with the shepherd's voice, and of all the sheep, his own sheep would come out. Any of you who've raised sheep, you know about that. You can call your sheep. Sheep aren't the smartest animals under the sun, but they recognize our voices. And so Jesus says the sheep will hear the shepherd's voice, and they don't listen to the voice of strangers. And they will follow their own shepherd out. I think Jesus is saying this to us. Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. He wants, all of us to pay attention to his voice. Jesus wants us to pay attention to his voice. I hear him saying, focus on me, everybody. Focus on me. Focus on what I'm saying. There's lots of voices in this world, lots of voices. Listen to my voice. Focus on my word. Hear what I'm saying, because what I'm saying will give you life. There's going to be lots of voices, lots of people claiming to be shepherds. Listen to me and to my voice. That's the call of Jesus, to focus on our Lord. Stay close to him in prayer, the reading of the scriptures, the living of our faith, and you're going to be okay. Focus on Jesus' voice and don't get distracted, and you're going to be okay.